Well, Max Walsh is in Portland for us tonight. Max, this is a controversial government policy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, and you get a real sense of that here. One person said to me today that they fear this could change Portland forever. Others point out the fact they haven't been consulted on any of these plans. They've just been forced upon them. And then there's the issue around the services here. This is a relatively small island. Only 13,000 people live here. Yet what will be the impact on local services with 500 asylum seekers just on the dock behind me?
In a moment, we'll be live with our reporter Max Walsh, who is at the Bristol Royal Infirmary.
When you speak to people going in and out of the hospital today, they all come up with the same word, and that is it is quite quiet in there. One person I spoke to was visiting his granddaughter undergoing spinal surgery. He told me that she was one of the only patients in the entire ward.
These moments of comfort have been rare in recent weeks, as Selma and her autistic son are moved between hotels, unsure of how long each stay will last, but adamant they cannot return to the place they once called home.
They call the police on me and my kid, and I don't know what I need to do. So trauma after trauma, why am I being dealt with this? How? Is this normal?
It is a journey no mother should have to make to search for her son in the most desperate of circumstances. But as Julie arrived in Barcelona this morning, she still believes there is a chance they can find him.
And there are two main reasons for that. The first one really is to stay across this investigation. As you heard in my report, there appears to be a bit of a tension between what Spanish police are saying and what West Midlands police are saying. And as a result, this investigation has really only got going here in Barcelona in the last 48 hours.
Before Romani was killed, CCTV captures the defendants in Gloucester, a group who called themselves the GL1s and wore purple bandanas as a sign of membership. They were already armed with weapons, which were shown in court and included this meat cleaver. After the incident, Levi Cameron and the two 16-year-olds meet up. Cameron can be seen acting out the stabbing, and later on the court heard they celebrated news of Romani's death.
There's also been a consultation which is just closed, which is looking essentially to ban the kinds of weapons that we saw in that report which were used to kill Romani, so namely the meat cleavers, the machetes, and the new legislation that could all be banned, as well as tougher sentences for those who distribute them.
50 years on from the disaster, families still mourn their loved ones and reflect on the lives cut short.
You live with it, you don't live without it. You know, it's there all the time.
It was on the 10th of April 1973 when a flight from Bristol crashed in a snowstorm after missing the runway in Basel. It carried mostly women who were on organised day trips from Somerset. 108 people were killed.
There will be a memorial service here on Monday, on the day of the anniversary, as well as a service in Basel to commemorate the 108 people who lost their lives that day, that forever changed these communities in Somerset. So what can be done to reverse all this? We saw the environmental campaigners in my report. They want to see more restrictions put on farmers so that they farm in a more environmentally friendly way. The government says it is spending more than £1 million in this area to specifically tackle that and help educate farmers. But the reality is that this river is just one of many now right across the country which are really struggling. Soil plays a huge part in tackling climate change by absorbing carbon. And by using regenerative farming techniques here, like pigs turning over the soil instead of chemicals and machines, it means this is kept in the best possible working condition. It's hoped in around 2 years' time, people will be living and working at the bottom of this enormous quarry, 80 metres below the surface. And the lessons learnt down there will then be replicated in our oceans.